Shabbat Shalom Yesharella. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to those Akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along with your Israelite foreigner brothers that like the heathens. But the line of outside goes back to the nation of Israel, which nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter, and throughout the Bible. So this will be your call, a month lesson, and today's lesson will be entitled, Take Not Thy Holy Spirit from Me. I'm just going to go on some precepts, and Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai. Take not that Holy Spirit from because, we don't want the Lord to, take his Holy Spirit from us and put an evil spirit on us, man. It's like he did with King Saul, as well as many individuals that was once in the faith. The Lord, took his Holy Spirit from them and put an evil spirit on them, and they fell out the truth, man. And we don't want that to be our latter end, which we understand that, a man's goings are the Lord, and we can't make ourselves of the elect, so that's why we always say humbly, say, Lord, when are we those men, because many have failed from the grace of Yahweh Shemon Shai in his faith, man, because, the scriptures say, knowledge puffeth up, and that's, one of the main reasons, a lot of men get proud, and the Lord hates pride, so, Lord one, the Lord keep us in the spirit of truth until the end. I brought this up, man. So I just wanted to go into it, and once again, Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai, and I'm gonna go in the book of Psalm chapter 51 verse 11, and this is a psalm of King David, as it said to the chief musician, a psalm of David when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone into Bathsheba, right? Because that account, that's when King David had committed adultery, with Uriah the Hittite, which he was an Israelite, his wife, Bathsheba, you know. But this is Psalms 51:11. It says, Cast me not away from thy presence and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. That's right, man. And for King David to make the statement, because in order, the reason why King David stated this, because he seen the spirit of the Lord depart from Saul, King Saul, the previous king that was before him, man. And let's go to that account, 1 Samuel 16 and verse 13 and 14. And it reads, it says, Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, which is talking about King David. It says, And the spirit of the Lord Yahweh came upon him, upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the spirit of the Lord Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him, man. So because the reason why the evil spirit was got on King Saul, because the Lord Yahweh had rejected King Saul as king, because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, because he was supposed to, slaughter out all the Amalekites. But King Saul, he ended up sparing King Agag of Amalek, and he ended up taking some of the cattle and stuff, man. Because the Lord told him to kill everything, the males, everybody, and the cattle. But King Saul, he didn't do that. So the consequence of him not obeying the Lord's word was the Lord rejected King Saul as king and put an evil spirit on him, and then he chose King David as the new king. So as verse 15, it says, And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now the evil spirit from Yahweh troubled thee, man. So even King Saul's servants, they seen the evil spirit on him, man. You know, because King Saul, he was trying to kill King David. You know, and and King Saul, he was once righteous, man. You know, when you read in his humble beginnings in the scriptures, he was humble before he became king. But then, he turned to a demon, man. You know, because the Lord put that evil spirit on him because he didn't do what the Lord said. So, everything is written aforetime for our learning, man. Let's just get that. Romans 15 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." And that's right, man. So everything is written aforetime for our learning. We're able to go back to the previous accounts of our forefathers, how they dealt with certain situations. The wicked forefathers and the righteous, man. Because you read about the wicked kings of Judah and Israel, and you also read about the righteous kings of Judah, which there was no righteous kings, of Israel, the northern kingdom. Our righteous forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so because the Bible is a book of life, we're able to learn life lessons from the scriptures and to apply them in our daily life. Of course, the righteous standard of the scriptures, you know. But but yeah, but going back to the top of the lesson, take not the Holy Spirit from me, man, because an evil spirit came upon Saul, and he probably had a dark countenance. It don't say, but probably had a dark countenance. He was just dark, and hey, man, that's why it's a fearful thing. Just get that. Hebrews 10 and I haven't been to that precept in a while. It's Hebrews 10 and 31. Fearful thing. Yes. Just trying to find it real quick. Fearful thing. So, and bear with me, I'm just finding it. Let's see. God, this is, yep, Hebrews 10 and 31. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, Yahweh. Right, man. So it's a very fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh by Shemel Shai, because the Lord can plague you, man. And the scriptures talk about give me any plague with the plague of the heart, plague of the mind, man. Which the plague of the mind can happen in the form of being plagued with demons. And Saul had that, man, the plague of the mind, because hey, you can see things that's not there. The Lord can, make you see things that's not there and make you delusional and just bugged out, man. That's why you must fear the Lord, man, and just be humble. James 4 and 10. It says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and he shall lift you up. Right? So, it's all about humbling ourselves, being lowly, taking the low. Because what did Yahweh Shai say? He that humble himself shall be exalted, and he that exalted himself shall be made a base, because the Lord doesn't deal with pride, man. He hates pride, you know. Um, let's go to Matthew chapter 12, verse 43. And it reads, it says, when the unclean spirit is going out of a man, which the unclean spirit would be that worldly spirit that we all once had before we came in the truth, which that's the unclean spirit. It says, he walketh through dry places, and the he is a spirit, seeking rest and findeth none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out, right? Because the spirits, they dwell in your body, which is your house, Your body is a house for the spirit, it says, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished, man. And garnished, when that evil spirit come back, because when you garnish your apartment, you fill it with furniture and stuff. So, your spirit, when that evil spirit comes back into you, then you just fill with demons, as it's gonna say. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, man. So once you follow the truth, that's unclean spirit that you had in the world comes back upon you, plus 7 more. So which will be 8. It says, and they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be unto this wicked generation, man. Right? So um, you're worse in your latter end than you was in the beginning. You start, even apostles say, some men, fell out the truth, and some men became homosexuals, man. So hey, the Lord can do that, make you become date transgenders and stuff, and hey, the Lord is to be feared, man. You know, that's why this truth is to be taken very seriously. You see. Now, enough on this last precept. This is Hebrews 10, verse 38, 39. It says, now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, meaning if any man withdraw from this truth, my soul shall have no pleasure in it. Right, because it's like you spitting in the Lord's face when you follow the truth. You putting the Lord to shame, man. As the scriptures say. You made Yahweh Shai's death a light thing. It says, but we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, which means destruction. So those that withdraw from the truth, they're headed right into perdition, which is destruction. The Lord's gonna use them for missile food. Or the Lord gonna have them die in Jacob's trouble, whether it be by famine or pestilence or race wars or however. But the Lord is reserving them unto the day of judgment. Because the scriptures say the Lord can reserve the ungodly unto the day of judgment, roughly paraphrasing. It says, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul, man. Right. So you gotta believe, man, to the end. We can't let no man take our crown. We can't let, no matter what, we can't let any persuade us from the love that we have in Yahweh Shai, no matter what, man. Even if we are faced with death, so what? We understand what's on the other side, which is the kingdom of heaven. And if we part of the elect, the Lord will raise us back up, and we're gonna have them new incorruptible bodies with spiritual power, and then we're gonna, be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai and come back and wreak havoc on the earth upon these heathens, put them all in slavery. So yeah, I just want to make a quick lesson on that. Take not the Holy Spirit from me, and Lord willing, I was edified. Until next time, Shalom.